everybody, Kathy Tooley. Thanks for joining us today. So today I'm going to just touch on a series that we're going to really dive into deep, but today I want to do the introduction to it, and that is rigor. Rigor, rigor, rigor. It's a tough one, I know. It's a tough one because it's so much more is being asked of our students every single day. But it's something that we as educators really have to wrap our brain around. So first, let me start by defining what I mean about rigor. The definition of rigor says it's the goal of helping students develop the capacity to understand content. Here's the most important: to understand content in a complex, ambiguous, provocative, and personally, emotionally challenging way. So it's really, rigor is really about students internalizing, personalizing, understanding the content so well that they can really apply it to any other situation. That's really what rigor is. But let me tell you what rigor is not, that we think often it is. Rigor is not a lot of homework. I hear teachers say all the time, my classroom is very rigorous. My kids have to write 3 research papers, or they have to. Rigor has nothing to do with the amount of homework. Rigor doesn't mean doing more. If I make my less rigor, I'll make less rigor. I hear teachers say this, students will only have to read the first 4 chapters, but my more rigorous, my AP, my brilliant students, my gifted students, they have to read the whole book. No, everybody reads the whole book. Rigor doesn't mean doing more. The other myth that I hear all the time is rigor is not for everyone. Well, Kathy, you don't understand. I have students in my room that just aren't ready for a higher level of rigor. Ready? When will they be? Next year? The following year? What teacher do you finally dump that rigor on while you excuse that they're not ready for it? Big myth. Here's another myth. Providing support means less rigor. So if I go help my students, if I help them walk through that journey, then it's not rigorous. That's just not true. Sometimes the rigor is absolutely going to require more supports from you. Fifth one I hear all the time is resources equal rigor. If I ask my students to go do something and I provide them a lot of resources, that makes it rigorous. No, it does not. Resources should always be available. It has nothing to do with what I defined a minute ago, and that is personalizing or internalizing the nature of the content. Standards alone, I hear this all the time. Kathy, I teach AP chemistry. I teach AP algebra. I teach pre-calculus. By the content of the simple content of what I teach is more rigorous. No, it's more difficult, but it's not more rigorous. You do anything in math and science, and that's more difficult for me. But that doesn't make it more rigorous. It makes it more difficult. And there is a difference between difficult and rigorous. And finally, rigor is just one more thing I have to do. No, rigor is everything you should be doing. Rigor is the very definition of what we have to do as educators. I'm going to leave you with this statistic, and then we're going to talk in later videos about how to increase rigor in your classroom, because I know that's what some of you are thinking. Kathy, I believe you. I know I've got to increase rigor. I just don't know how. Hang on. I got you. You know that. A statistic that is so telling is that the vast majority of students that aren't successful on state assessments are not successful, and I intended that double negative, are not successful because they didn't understand the content. They are not successful because they didn't understand the question. They didn't understand the rigor. We were teaching at this level. They were tested at this level. And I know you had that experience. Have you ever had that experience where you look at a question and think, how can my kids get this wrong? We have talked about this hundreds of times. You've talked about it at this level. They were assessed at this level. If you could have walked over and given them a question at that level, they would have gotten it. Now they call that cheating. You can't do that. But I'm saying that all we have to do is change what we're teaching to match the level that they're testing. And I'm going to do some future videos to help you get a few more of those. So thank you as always. Hit the subscribe button if this has been helpful to you. And please, please, please share, share, share. Get this out there. Let's make sure that every educator has an opportunity to these tips. And finally, thank you as always for what you're doing every single day on the behalf of your kids. Have a great day.